Welcome to the Introduction to Gardening with Summit and Seeds. We're thrilled to have you join us as we delve into the wonderful world of gardening. This summit is designed to help you transform from a gardening novice to a green thumb guru. We'll guide you through the entire process, from understanding the basics to finally enjoying the fruits of your labor. And it all starts with a tiny powerhouse, the seed. Seeds are the beginning of all life in your garden, the small miracles that sprout into beautiful plants. They are the embodiment of potential, a promise of what's to come. In the course of this video, we will unveil the magic that lies within these tiny packages of life. So let's embark on this exciting journey together. Ready to sow the seeds of knowledge? Let's get started. Ever considered embarking on the adventure of starting your own garden? Picture the bliss of waking up to a vivid explosion of colors in your backyard, or the pride of cooking with fresh herbs you've cultivated yourself. Perhaps you've even dreamt of attending the local garden summit with your own homegrown seeds. Gardening is not merely a pastime, but a celebration of life, a testament to the enchantment of nature that unfolds before our very eyes. It offers not only a feast for the senses with its symphony of hues, textures, and fragrances, but is accompanied by countless health benefits. Gardening can be a potent stress reliever, a form of physical exercise, and a pathway to connect with nature. Plus, there's an unparalleled fulfillment that comes from nurturing a tiny seed into a towering plant. In video, we're going to guide you through the gratifying journey of nurturing your first garden. From cherry-picking the ideal spot, choosing your seeds, planting, caring, and finally, reveling in the beauty of your garden. Ready to dip your hands in the soil? Excellent, let's get our garden journey started. The first step in starting a garden is to choose the right location. Now you might ask, why is location so important? Well, it's all about the 3 S's. Sunlight, space, and soil. Sunlight is the lifeblood of any garden. It powers the photosynthesis process, which is essentially how plants eat. Most vegetables and flowers need about 6 hours of full sun each day. So, look around your potential garden spot at different times of the day to get a sense of where the sun hits and for how long. If your garden location is on a balcony or patio, don't fret. There are plenty of plants that thrive in partial shade or indirect sunlight. Next up is space. Your garden needs room to grow, both above and below the ground. Above ground, plants need space to spread out their leaves and branches. Below ground, plant roots need room to spread out and anchor the plant. If you're working with a small space, consider container gardening or vertical gardening techniques. These can turn even the tiniest balcony into a lush green oasis. The final S is soil. Good quality soil is crucial for a thriving garden. It provides the nutrients that your plants need to grow. Soil quality can vary greatly from place to place, so it's a good idea to do a simple soil test before you start planting. This will tell you if your soil is acidic or alkaline and what nutrients it may be lacking. If your soil isn't up to snuff, don't worry. You can improve it by adding compost or other organic matter. So remember the 3 S's when choosing your garden location: sunlight, space, and soil. By taking the time to assess these factors, you'll set your garden up for success from the very start. Once you've found the perfect spot, you're ready for the next step, choosing your plants. Now that you have your location, it's time to decide what you want to grow. The world of plants is vast and varied, and your choices are almost endless. But before you get carried away, there are a few factors to consider. Firstly, think about your climate. Some plants thrive in the heat, while others prefer cooler conditions. If you live in a tropical climate, you might consider growing hibiscus or bougainvillea. If your winters are cold and harsh, then plants like coneflowers or daylilies may be more suitable. It's all about understanding your environment and choosing plants that will thrive there. Maintenance is another important factor. Some plants require a lot of attention, while others are more low maintenance. If you're new to gardening or have a busy schedule, you might want to start with plants that require less care. Succulents, for instance, are hardy and require little water. Marigolds, too, are easy to grow and can add a burst of color to your garden. Lastly, consider your personal preference. Gardening should be a joy, so choose plants that you love. Maybe you have a favorite color, or perhaps you're drawn to the scent of lavender or the taste of homegrown tomatoes. Your garden is a reflection of you, so don't be afraid to let your personality shine through. For beginners, a few plants that are generally easy to grow include sunflowers, pansies, and sweet peas. These plants are resilient, require minimal care, and can add a touch of beauty to any garden. Remember, gardening is a journey. You may not get everything right the first time, but that's okay. The important thing is to learn and grow along with your garden. With your plants selected, it's time to get them in the ground. Ready to get your hands dirty? It's time to plant. Let's begin by preparing the soil. It's the foundation of your garden, and a healthy start here means a thriving garden later on. Start by clearing the area of any weeds or grass. Next, loosen the using a garden fork or tiller. This allows the roots of your plants to penetrate deeply and access nutrients effectively. Once your soil is loose, it's time to enrich it. Add organic matter like compost or leaf mold. This will improve the structure of the soil, retain moisture, and provide the nutrients your plants need to grow. Mix it well into the top few inches of soil. Now let's move to the actual planting. If you're using seeds, read the packet instructions carefully for the correct depth and spacing. Generally, seeds should be planted at a depth of about 2 to 3 times their width. Cover them lightly with soil and water, gently. If you're using seedlings, dig holes that are twice as wide and just as deep as the root ball. Place the seedling in the hole, making sure the top of the root ball is level with the soil surface. Then backfill the hole, firm the soil lightly and water well. Spacing is vital. It's tempting to plant seedlings close together to get a lush garden quickly. But remember, plants grow. They need room to breathe and for their roots to spread out. So, follow the recommended spacing guidelines for each type of plant. Finally, give your newly planted a good watering. This settles the soil around the roots and helps establish good contact between the roots and the soil. With your plants in the ground, your garden is starting to take shape. But your work isn't done yet. Now it's time to how to care for your new garden. Stay tuned for our next step, where we'll dive into garden maintenance. Now that you've planted your garden, it's crucial to understand how to care for it. A garden is a living thing, and it needs your care to thrive. Just like us, plants also need food and water to grow. Watering your plants is an integral part of garden care, but it's not merely about soaking your plants sporadically. It's akin to making a perfect cup of tea. The soil should be moist, not waterlogged, and the most suitable times to water are in the early morning or late evening when the sun's rays are not harsh. Let's move on to weeding. Weeds are uninvited guests at your garden party. They vie with your plants for nutrients, water, and sunlight. Regular removal of weeds ensures your plants can grow without any interference. The simplest way to do this is by hand, but if your garden is vast, a hoe can be quite helpful. Next, we will discuss mulching. Mulch acts as a protective blanket for your garden, helping to retain moisture, suppress weeds, and improve the health of your soil as it decomposes. Organic mulch, like compost or shredded bark, is an excellent choice. Despite all the good care, your garden may still attract unwanted visitors such as pests or diseases. Watch out for alterations in your plants. Yellowing leaves, spots, or pests like aphids could suggest a problem, but don't worry. Many issues can be remedied with organic solutions or by attracting beneficial insects that feed on pests. Lastly, we can't forget to feed our plants. Just like us, plants need a variety of nutrients to grow. A high-quality organic compost or well-decomposed manure can offer most of what your plants require. That concludes the basics of garden care. Keep in mind, every garden is unique, so what works for one may not work for another. Gardening is all about learning, observing, and adapting. With the right care, your garden will flourish. But remember, gardening is a journey, not a destination. You've planted your garden, and you're caring for it. What comes next? Now comes the truly rewarding part, enjoying your garden. As time passes, you'll witness the magical transformation from tiny seeds or young plants into a vibrant, living garden. It's a sight that never fails to instill wonder and joy. Whether you've planted a vegetable garden, flower garden, or a mix of both, there's nothing quite like the satisfaction of harvesting your own produce or seeing your flowers in full bloom. It's a testament to your hard work, patience, and care. Remember, gardening isn't just about the end result. It's about the journey. It's about learning and experimenting. It's about connecting with nature and discovering the simple pleasures it offers. So embrace the process. Take the time to sit back, relax, and truly appreciate the beauty of your garden. So, are you ready to start your gardening journey? The only thing left to do is to get out there and start planting. Before we say goodbye, let's recap what we've learned today. We started off by immersing ourselves in the joy of gardening, the magic of nurturing life from a simple seed, and the satisfaction that comes from creating a beautiful, thriving green space. We then moved on to one of the most crucial steps in starting a garden, selecting the perfect spot. We learned that the ideal location is one that receives plenty of sunlight, has good soil, and is easily accessible for watering and maintenance. Next, we delved into the exciting world of choosing your plants. We discovered that understanding your region's climate and soil type is key to selecting plants that will thrive in your garden. We also touched on the importance of diversity in your plant selection to create a balanced and vibrant garden. Then we got our hands dirty with the planting process. We learned the importance of giving each plant enough space to grow, and how the depth at which you plant can significantly impact your garden's success. We also discussed the benefits of mulching to protect your plants and enrich your soil. Following that, we focused on caring for your garden. We emphasized the importance of regular watering, keeping an eye out for pests, and pruning when necessary. We also learned that patience is a gardener's best friend, as plants need time to grow and flourish. Lastly, we touched upon the joy of enjoying your garden, of spending time amidst your plants, and experiencing the tranquility and satisfaction that comes with seeing your hard work bear fruit. Thank you for joining us today. Remember, gardening is a journey of growth, not just for your plants, but for you as well. The lessons you learn in the garden, patience, perseverance, and the joy of nurturing, are lessons you carry with you in life. So here's to starting your gardening journey and to the many joys and lessons it will bring. Happy gardening. We hope today has been a fruitful start to your gardening journey. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more gardening tips and tricks. We'd love to hear about your gardening experiences, questions, or thoughts, so feel free to leave a comment below. And if you know someone who might be interested in starting their own garden, don't hesitate to share this video with them. Remember, gardening is not just an individual journey, it's a community experience. So let's grow together. Thank you for joining us today, and as always, happy gardening. Please subscribe for future content and like to help us grow. Happy gardening.